Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hey, just got out and I was just doing some video footage of some crappy stuff that my GoPro's doing, and I went down this really random road and it just turned to gravel. So for no particular reason whatsoever, I just thought I'm going to film this and just see where it goes. It may not go far, but I've got a full tank of gas on my stromper, and so that gives me 400 k's, so I figure it should be alright. Oh, actually, I think I do know where I am, but I've come here a different way before. Maybe. Maybe not. No. No. No idea where I am. It's out the back of Raglan somewhere in New Zealand. But that's the thing here, is you're only ever in New Zealand, you're only ever a few minutes away from a good adventure track. One of the things that I'm actually inviting you to do is let me know in the comments section if you're looking for some adventure riding here in New Zealand. I can set you up with some rental bikes, and we can go and do some of this type of stuff together for a minimal fee. Just make sure my time and gas are paid for. So if you're interested in that, let me know. We can come out and do some weekend rides. Most of the tracks are like this, so they're really just, there's the windmills over in the background, but you probably won't see that in this camera. The roads here are, you know, reasonable gravel, so you generally don't get into anything too gnarly. It's just knowing where they are. So I'm always hunting around and looking for a decent road just to go somewhere random. So if you're interested in going for a ride with me, give me a holler in the comments section, and I'll put my email address into the description, and you can come out and experience this with me, which looks a whole lot better in real life than what it does on the screen with this bloody old, that was my giant foot accidentally hitting the downshift. So yeah, just let me know in the comments section whether that's something that you want to do. I think I found another road to be able to test out bikes on, so that'll be cool. Everyone says New Zealand's full of sheep, but you see more cows than you do sheep these days. I'd like to dedicate this little video to Ol Man Ronan. If you haven't checked out his channel, go and have a look. He's a Royal Enfield ambassador, and he's just been diagnosed with cancer, and he's probably one of the most entertaining and informative people I've ever had the pleasure of watching as far as videos are concerned. He's a no fuss, no muss, really happy, friendly sort of a bloke, and he responds to most of the comments on his channel and makes you really feel like you know him and that you're a mate of his, and not just somebody who is halfway across the world and watches a 20-minute snippet of his life. So have a look at his channel. He's got lots and lots of videos on how to winterize motorcycles and how to look after bikes, and he's got a lot of stuff on Harley Davidsons as well as Royal Enfields. He's got a few videos on other bikes as well, so I'd just encourage you to go and take a look. You know, he's been riding for 40 or 50 years, so you know, he really knows what he's talking about. And so I'm going to dedicate this to him and Ol Man Ronan. If you're actually watching this, and I'm going to post it to one of your videos, so I hope you do. During the time that I've had off with various injuries and what have you, being able to watch your videos every week when I've not been well and not been able to get out and do things, and when I've been a bit depressed about life in general, being able to get out there and actually have a look at your videos and feel like I'm actually getting out and about and exploring has been really, really valuable to my mental health. And I just wanted to say, thinking about you every day and praying for you, and I hope with all my heart that we see you in better health and back out there and riding again in the near future, my friend. So, and by the way, this is what you're missing out on because you didn't you spent money on another motorcycle rather than coming out to see me. It's just starting to rain here now, so I'll just make sure that the lens is being wiped. I have no idea where I am. I'm sure if I hang a left, I must end up back in Raglan somewhere. Just a short little road. I like my mountain road more for testing bikes, but there you go. Bit of a dangerous corner, that one. Couldn't see what's coming until it was already coming. Turn my indicator off. Still love the sound of this bike, eh? I've just never, I don't think I'll ever think that a V-twin sounds as good as this. Sorry, a parallel twin sounds as good as this. Really into my V-twins and my thumpers. I think they've got heaps and heaps of character. What I like about the V-twin is you get that character of the motorcycle. You know, the engine sound is pretty awesome, but then it's a relatively smooth ride. You don't get heaps of vibration through it, and Royal Enfield are doing some really, really good bikes now, and I'd love to own one. Every time they bring out a new bike, I'm like, oh, I want that one, oh, I want that one, oh, I want that one. I'm really looking very keenly at the classic 650. I think that could be something special. But yeah, I really love what Royal Enfield are doing, and I'm excited to see what BSA have brought out. I've seen some reviews of the test bikes which say that the welds maybe aren't quite as nice and all that kind of thing, but if you think about where Royal Enfield was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago to where they are now, I think BSA will probably come up to scratch and the first lot of bikes will probably be quite desirable because they were the first off the production line. And don't forget that BSA are also moving their bikes back to they're also moving their bikes back to, where are they? England at some stage as well. They're going to move production back to England, so I know that the quality will go up from there. But yeah, big single thumpers, if they've got good counterbalances and don't, you know, vibrate your tits off, I think those will be a good one to go and have a look at. But Royal Enfield are just so refined now, and they're doing so many cool things, and realistically, if you're into motorbikes and you're just fresh getting into motorbikes, I'd suggest to you that you're going to want no more than about 50 horsepower. So this bike's got 66 horsepower. And that wasn't too bad, but it was a little bit scary for the first couple of months that I got on it. Because this was sold to me as a Lamb's bike, and it's not a Lamb's bike. It's a full power bike. It's about 15 to 18 horsepower more than the Lamb's versions. The Lamb's versions are 47 horsepower. This is 66. So we're actually 19 horsepower up, now that I think about it, on this versus a Lamb's bike. So it's quite different. I apologise for the rain. This is summer. I can't believe it. It's really nice and warm, but man, it's just wet as. So I knew it was going to rain today, but I was just like, I need to get out and get on the bike. So yeah, I think Royal Enfield is very high on my list. I'm really seriously looking at the 650 Classic when that comes out. I really like the 350 Classic, but I just found it maybe, even though you never really, I've got a review on it, and I'll put it on in the description below, but even though you're only doing like 90 to 100 kilometers an hour maximum, which is about 55 to 65 around here, because there's a lot of hills, and so the bike does tend to struggle a bit to be able to get up those hills. You don't feel like you want to go any faster. Like it's such a pleasurable bike to ride. It's just kind of fun just to putt around the place without having to worry about how fast you're going. And it's got plenty enough torque that, you know, down low, that you don't really miss any power from about 0 to 50 kilometers an hour. It's only from about 50 up that you start to notice that it takes a wee while for it to get to speed, or that it doesn't get to speed because it's struggling a little bit. But if they brought out that 650 with the 270 degree crank parallel twin, I think that would be the bike for me. I really like the Interceptor, but I think that the Classic would just give me everything that I wanted as far as a nostalgic look and a really good amount of power that maybe I could go for a day or two on a ride somewhere and still feel comfortable. The passing lanes in New Zealand are super short, so you've maybe got a kilometre, which is about, I don't know what that would be, probably around about 700 yards, 0.7 of a mile, to be able to pass something, and oftentimes it's on a hill. So if you're on a bike where the maximum speed's maybe 100 to 110 kilometres an hour, trying to get to those speeds just to be able to pass is pretty difficult. So the maximum speed limit in New Zealand anywhere is 110 kilometres an hour, which is about, I don't know, 67 mile an hour, I suppose. So it's not too quick, but it's nearing the top end of what those bikes are capable of. So to be able to go to the 650 with the parallel twin in it, it would just give me everything that I was after. So who knows, I might be able to get out and do a test ride on one of those when it's when it's done and dusted, and I'm expecting it to come in at slightly more than the Interceptor, but not much. Oh, look at that, we're back onto gravel road. Awesome. It's a bit squirrely. It always makes me giggle with these bikes all having, you know, adjustable traction control and ABS and all that kind of stuff. I don't have ABS. I have no traction control, and I handle these roads just fine. I've come off my bike on these roads once, and that was from a standstill when I was trying to go up a hill and around a corner, and I just, yeah, the bike just kind of tipped over and ended up going back down the hill again, as does happen. But this is just a bit of fun. Look at that. I have no idea where I am. Absolutely no idea where I am. Look at those limestone cliffs. River running through. Tui Point. Never been here. I just love doing these little adventures. Like I say, this is like 30 minutes from my house. Well, the turn off to get here was 30 minutes from my house. What a beautiful little spot. How awesome. Even in the rain, this is fun. Looks like wild goats up in there. It is. Here in New Zealand, they're a pest species, so I do a bit of hunting and a bit of fishing, or at least I did before my injuries, and that would be just corker for me. But yeah, with traction control and ABS, I really think it's only necessary. ABS, yep, I think that definitely helps in on the road in poor conditions. But if you learn to brake properly on your bike, you can make do without it, and they did for, you know, 100 odd years before it came along. What we get now is people taking bigger risks on more powerful bikes. But as a learner, I'm telling you now, like 50 horsepower is everything you need. In fact, probably 35 horsepower is everything that you need. It'll allow you to do everything that you need to do. It is really seriously pretty through here. All native bush. I'm so glad I came down here. I don't know where I am, but it's so cool. I thought I recognised the area for a wee bit, and nope. She's pretty twisty and turny, but I think I can see Raglan in between the trees here and there. Oh, look at this! Look at it! So this is about what most people are going to do on adventure bikes. I don't think many people would go more than this. If you are keen to go and do some rides with me, this is about as bad as it's going to get. So you don't have to be like a, you know, really super good rider to be able to get out and do this stuff. Just have some basic balance skills, and remember to stay left, because a lot of people cut corners and things in their cars when they're coming through this area, these sorts of areas rather. How pretty is this? This is amazing. All that tea tree, manuka we call it here. It's a particular type of tea tree over here which has really good antibacterial properties and really good for healing wounds and all that kind of stuff. So with your honey that you get off of these, the manuka honey that you get off this stuff, mate, you can take cuts and abrasions and everything, put the honey on it, doesn't get infected, heals really fast. It's good stuff. Wow, look at it! I don't know how much you guys are going to see because it'll probably, the camera will white everything out, but it looks amazing. Come on over and I'll take you through. Oh, this will be interesting. I don't know whether I go up there or whether I carry on around here. I think I carry on around here. I think I need to adjust the... I've got a new set of boots, and I think I need to adjust my gear peg, the gear lever, because it's hard for me to get my boot under it. There's a big estuary right here. I really seriously have no idea where I am. Just, that's what happens when you take off down some random road. Just, I don't know. Just go take a look. Amazing spot. Really nice wide carved out roads too. Wow, this is awesome. Seriously, where am I? Wow! Look at it! Road gets a little bit tricky because the stone's really built up there, so as soon as you start to try, and you really got to steer with the rear. I'm dealing with a sore leg, so standing on the pegs for too long is not really a a thing I'm interested in doing at the moment. Wow, this is awesome. Big estuary with some islands and things out there, and choice. Oh wow. Okay guys, I'm going to take some photos. I'm going to take some photos because I don't know whether I'll be back here again because I don't know where I am. Not there. There. Tell you what, since I've done an oil change on my bike, I'm finding I get into neutral really well. All right. I'm going to go take some photos and we'll start this journey. What do we got? Okay, so I'm off the genuine GoPro battery now, so I'm this one's probably not going to last as long. I'm glad I had a bash plate for that bit. Bit of a scratch. I kind of cheated. If I recenter myself, I'm around about 30 minutes from Raglan and I've got to go back the other way to get there. So I've taken a wrong turn somewhere. But how pretty is this? Didn't even know this place existed 30 minutes ago. So there's just all of these little spots around New Zealand where you can just go and you're not far away from anything at all really. But Kawhi is over this way and Raglan's back behind us. This is just awesome. I don't care if any of you guys want to watch this, I'm going to do it, and this is dedicated to Ol Man Ronan so that he can actually see what he's missing out on. So happy I came out here. I don't know what it is, it's just I mean there's 99% blokes that are watching this right now, but just let me know in the comments section if there's something primal about just being able to get out and explore for you guys as well. There's something just that kind of drives you and makes you feel I don't know, it just makes you feel happy. It gives you that sort of serotonin boost that you require. So this way goes to Raglan because I cheated and I had a look. So this one here I think goes out to the heads. So I'm going to go and take a look down here. And we won't go all the way to Raglan, we'll turn around and we'll go back to sorry, we won't go all the way to Kawhi, we'll go to Raglan and I'll grab something to eat in Raglan for lunch. Because it's now 11:41. It's like another marae up here. So marae is kind of a gathering spot for local indigenous people, of which I am part. A lot of people in New Zealand are part Māori at least, identify as at least part Māori. I have Māori heritage, Tiatiawa tribe, which is around Taranaki area, if any of you are interested. My wife is Ngāpui, if ever you're interested. And we both look white as the driven snow because we've got we've got so many other different breeds in us. I've got Native American blood, Māori blood, and Pākehā or white blood in me. So I'm a little bit of a mongrel. What are they? Coos? The Coos? Little estuary inlet here. Beautiful native bush up in the back. The places that you'd live if you didn't have to earn an income. How awesome is this? I'm totally doing some of my test rides through here. Tell them I'm taking it for a day, and I'm going to do some test rides through here. One of the great things that I love about Royal Enfield is that they just say, oh yeah, bring it back when you're finished. It's not, you've got it for an hour, bring it back. So, bums on seats sell bikes, guys, and if you have a look at how many bikes Royal Enfield's now selling, it should tell you something. Because they're selling a buttload of bikes. The other thing to be concerned with as well, I think, if you're looking at Muckle Muckle, I don't know where Muckle Muckle Road goes. That seems to wind back around that way. Let's go that way because I'm looking for the heads. Let's have a look. Come on, zoom out. Gloves are only good sometimes. There we go. Muckle Muckle. That's a dead end. Just trying to zoom out a bit more. Okay. Alright. Hey bro, how you doing?
Are you alright?
Yeah, alright mate.
Help you?
No, I'm just out exploring.
Oh.
So haven't I just wanted to see whether that one went towards the heads or whether that one went towards the heads. So yeah, just worked that out. So I'm going to head off up that way.
See you later.
Alright bro, thanks. Nice friendly Kiwis. Let's have a look through here. Just pretty tight and twisty through here, so let's try and get up in the pegs a bit, because I also have to stick to the left with you know, you can say what you like about these V-Strims. People say they're very road orientated, but I can take this over some pretty gnarly terrain without it bottoming out. I've got Shinko 705s on here, so they're just like a, I know some people say that they're a 70-30 and some people say they're an 80-20 road bias tyre. I just haven't had any issues with them. The one thing that I will say is that some people are saying that they get around about 9,000 to 10,000 k's out of them. Now I don't rip my bike and I'm probably getting 7,000 to 8,000 out of the rear. And I don't know if that's good or bad. So again, in the comment section, if you're still watching, woo, getting bouncy through here, in the comment section, if there's another economic tyre that lasts for a good length of time that you guys could recommend, that'll do at least that and still do the sort of stuff that I'm doing now, give me a buzz and let me know. I'm really interested. I want to learn as much as I can from you guys, as much as you're learning from me, because I've only been through, I had a Michelin Anarchy 3 Wild on the back of this, and that was crap. I'll probably get a lot of hate comments in the comment section there, but I found that it washed out pretty easily. These ones just a bit more open and just do what I need them to do when I need them to do it. But this bike handles well. I've even been on farmland where it's just like limestone cliffs and rocks and things everywhere, and still taking this up some pretty gnarly dirt paths. I did find that my clutch was on its last legs and it definitely didn't want to do a thing after it did that. I ended up having to replace the clutch, but c'est la vie. New clutch for 30 to 60,000 k's. But like I say, I don't rip my bike. I only ever take it really easy on the bike. I'm not hanging the ass out on it, and I'm not treating it hard, but I've never ever had an issue off-road on this bike. And I guess I'm just doing these sort of gravel roads and dirt roads and things, so it should never really be an issue. Suzuki did a good job with this. Doing just enough of everything. One of the things I will say about these 705s is as soon as you get into anything slick, so anything on the road or otherwise, they don't last. Well, it's not that they don't last, it's just that they don't work very well in wet conditions. They tend to be a bit slippy, which is fine. You just have to take your time, and yeah, you just have to take your time and drive to the conditions. But this is they've been a pretty good tyre for me. I was going to replace them with a tyre which was about $100 more expensive. I ended up replacing the front with another 705, and I thought, you know what, I'll just ride the 705s for a wee bit longer until I can get some concrete data on what is going to be another good tyre. The only reason I'd go to another tyre now is if I knew it was going to last longer and do the same job. And it'd have to last, if it's another $100 that's fitted, that's another 30% more than what this is going to cost, so they'd have to last for a significant amount longer for that to happen. Well, this is actually quite a long ride. Considering I thought, oh, I'll just go down here, it might be an extra 10 or 15 minutes. Fortunately, my darling dearest is overseas visiting family and friends at the moment, and so I don't have to be anywhere or anything. It's good. How cool is this? Look, it's just native bush everywhere. Wow, beautiful gully. There's a few pigs and goats in there, I'm sure. What's down there? This road's actually really nice. Probably turn back to gravel shortly, but it's actually quite good. Gravel road. Native bush out into farmland. I don't think I'll ever be able to do a ride like this without thinking about Ol Man Ronan. Well, Ol Man Ronan and Itchy Boots. I think probably Nora Lee, you know, she's been a big inspiration to me. But also Mr. Ronan, getting out there on his Royal Enfields. And I've been watching him since the really early days, when he first got his well, really early days of his Royal Enfield anyway, so for the last 2 or 3 years at least. And I was looking to buy a Royal Enfield Himalayan at the time. Just found them to be more expensive than this because this was second hand, but also just a little bit lacking in power for the types of passing lanes and things that we have here. And But I still live in hope that there'll be a bike come out from Royal Enfield that will actually suit these conditions, that I'll be able to get out and do the thing with them and do some long distance touring, because I firmly believe that that's probably, they're a bike that really inspires you to get out and actually go for a ride. And I fall in love with every single one I ride, and it's been really interesting watching the Ol Man Ronan channel and just seeing how he's developed with that company, and the things that he's been getting out and doing with them. I think for 90% of what I do, those bikes would be not only fine but actually really enjoyable. There's just that 10% that I actually need, which this bike provides, when it comes to passing on short passing lanes, etc. But other than that, I'm really interested to see what bikes they actually put out over the next couple of years, because they just seem to be making so many improvements. There's some sheeps. Some sheepies. I seriously don't know how far away the end of this road is. How cool is this? If there's a campsite out here, I'd be in. I might even come out this weekend if there's a campsite out here. Do some motor camping, some fishing. Do not dump rubbish, clean and tidy. Fair enough then. I didn't actually bring any water with me. I wasn't anticipating I was going to be gone this long. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's these limestone cliff faces just up in the distance there. Just love the variety of scenery here in New Zealand. You don't have to go far to get to somewhere. My brother lives in Canada and he keeps showing me these amazing shots of places that he goes and things that he does with his hunting and that, and the problem is you're a long way away from anything, whereas you've seen still four-wheel drives and cars and stuff coming through this area, and there's still farms and things around here that I can go and stop off in. It's wilderness, but it's not dangerous, if that makes sense, for the most part anyway. There's always somebody about within walking distance. Even if you got to walk a few k's, you could do it. Nice little estuary. Looks like it might be a campsite there. It's got a toilet and stuff there. I don't know, there's no official signs up. Little village here. This is cool. I'm so glad I got out and did this. Mr. Ronan, I hope that you're actually watching this. If it hadn't been for the inspiration of you and people like you, I'd never have gotten out and done this stuff. channels like yours that convinced me that an adventure bike was the way that I wanted to be going. That'd be cool to have a little spit of land here or something and come out here on your days off and do a bit of fishing and adventuring. Oh, we're connecting up with the main road here. Oh, okay, so that's Otahonga and that's Kawhia. I know where I am, but I do need to go all the way back around. So I might just stop in Kawhia for something to eat, because I've got to go all the way back round again to be able to get to Raglan. So oh, this is cool. This is great. Well, we'll get into Kawhia and I'll end the video there. It's a little bit longer than I was anticipating it was going to be. I had no idea where I was. I've actually come out that exit before, but I don't know how I got there in the first place. So Kawhia is an interesting little spot. It feels like it's a little village on its way to becoming a something, but it's a long way away. Woo, something's dead. Woo. It's on its way to becoming a something, but it's so far out that it's not really a thing yet. So I wasn't anticipating I was going to end up in Kawhia, but I somehow did. But it's a neat little town. I've only been there twice in the whole time I've been up in the North Island. I know people that own houses out this way and that, but it's like it's an hour's drive on the road, hour and a half's drive on the road to actually get here in the first place from Hamilton, which is probably the closest main centre. There's Otahonga, but I don't really class that as a main centre, it's another town. And so, you know, it's just a little bit far out for people to regard as a holiday hotspot. And every time I come out here, the weather looks like this. So, just picking the wrong days maybe. But it's maybe a good thing that the town isn't, you know, like a major centre, because if you do buy out here, it's actually really cheap to buy houses out this way. About half the price of Hamilton. And so it's an affordable spot to have a little bit of a holiday and get away from everything, but there's still a township here, so you can still go and get, you know, takeaways, and you can still go and do things with the kids. You're not too far removed from everything. But when I took that road, I certainly didn't expect I was going to end up here. And that's the advantage to an adventure bike. It doesn't matter whether you end up on gravel roads, dirt roads, whether the roads are good, bad or ugly, you can still negotiate them on a bike like this. And you just can't do that on a road bike. Well, you can, but you stuff the fork seals, you'll end up bottoming it out. It's not going to be a nice ride, whereas a bike like this is lovely and pleasant, and it soaks up all the bumps and just does a thing. Kawhia. It's kind of a good New Zealand town of the 1970s and 1980s with the palm trees, and just the way it's all laid out just reminds me of the 1970s and 1980s. So Mr. Ronan, I've done this for you, and I'm glad that you could come along on the ride. And for the rest of you out there that decided you were going to come on the ride with me, thank you so much. There wasn't really a lot of informative stuff here, but it's a good, solid West Coast ride on a not so fantastic day, but still really lovely and warm, to a town I didn't even know I was going to at the beginning of it. So, anyway, this is 40 Noob NZ signing out. Thank you so much for coming along. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Harera.